My name is David. Today, I'm going to be talking about establishing a clear path to citizenship. To begin, I'm going to ask if everyone could please raise their hand if they think our current system is flawless, efficient, and everyone who deserves citizenship gets it. Just as I suspected, nobody in this room and almost nobody in this country thinks that our current immigration system, our current means by obtaining citizenship, is perfect and doesn't need reform. Just to throw out some numbers that prove the necessity and the urgency we need to take in reforming our immigration system. According to the Pew Research Center, there are over 10 million undocumented people living in this country. Also, according to the Pew Research Center, there are 700,000 people who are DACA recipients. And according to the Department of Homeland Security, there are 13.2 million green card recipients currently living in this country. Now, these are all non-permanent members of our society. And because of this, because of them not having citizenship, they're in fear of deportation, they're not being treated fairly underneath the laws, and they cannot work towards improving our nation. I feel passionately about this because since the 2016 election, everybody's been talking about immigration with the problem and their stances on it, but no one's providing solutions. And that's why I'm here today. Over the last 2 years, I put countless hours of thought into this and research into how do we solve this problem. Many of us have been impacted in immigrants somewhere in our life, whether it be family, whether we came here, whether any immigrants in the audience, but just in general, immigrants have affected all parts of our life. And my solution to this problem of having so many non-residents and all these abuses in our system is establishing a clear path to citizenship. If the U.S. creates a clear path to citizenship for all current non-citizen residents and all new immigrants, then we can end abuses of our current system and benefit the lives of millions of hardworking and honest people. Now, I know a lot of you probably haven't thought about establishing a clear path to citizenship as a solution to all of our immigration problems. And I'm not saying this is for all of them, but I think this will really benefit our immigration system. Now, to begin diving into the mammoth amount of problems that surround our immigration system, I'm going to be talking about establishing a green card, which you need to apply for citizenship. And this is where things get kind of messy. According to the Zohar law firm, which is an immigration law firm, there are 3 main ways to obtain a green card. Marry a U.S. citizen, have a child that's 21 or older sponsor you, get a green card through your job, or you can get one through asylum or refugee status. I'm not going to get into that. That's pretty complicated and deserves a speech of its own. Let's talk about that first one, marrying a U.S. citizen. So if anyone's seen an episode of 90 Day Fiancé, they know people date for 10 days, they get married, that person gets to come to the U.S. There is no merit in this. I do not know why this is even a thing. Just because you marry someone does not mean you should get to come to the United States. In addition, and this one is pretty heartbreaking, people pay thousands of dollars to have U.S. citizens marry them. In an interview given to the Sydney Morning Herald, a Manhattan bar owner said he paid $10,000 to a U.S. citizen just so he could stay in the country. That is really hard to hear. Now, acquiring one through your job sounds good, right? Yes, and I agree. I think it is good, but it's just not effective enough because that job needs to be advertised to U.S. citizens before the green card can be administered. So one U.S. citizen expresses interest, goes out the window. So it's just simply not effective enough. To briefly touch on visas and why I don't think we should even have visas is because majority of undocumented people in this country are undocumented or don't have permanent status because they overstay their visas. According to The Atlantic, by a 2-to-1 ratio, people overstay their visas in illegal border crossings. So majority of the people in this country from 2-to-1 ratio come from overstayed visas. Now, just to briefly talk about a state that's very affected by immigrants, California, and the need we have, the reason why we need to have them in this country, and the reason why we need to establish a clear path to citizenship so we can keep them here permanently. So according to the Pew Research Center, from 2007 to 2017, 750,000 immigrants left the state. Unsurprisingly, in 2018, according to a survey from the California Farm Bureau Federation, 70% of farmers said that they had they needed more farmers and they couldn't get it. I'll let those numbers, I'll let you make of those numbers what you will. All right, now let's talk about the solution to this and how do we establish a clear path to citizenship. It's simple. We create a test and new policies surrounding new immigrants and for new immigrants. First, we need to bar all welfare benefits for the first 2 years of new immigrants being here. This is just so we prevent people from coming here just to collect welfare. Now, I know this is kind of tricky and this can be seen as immoral, but unfortunately, the US has a lot of resources, not unlimited resources. And as much as it'd be great to give everybody welfare, we just don't have enough money to do it. And if we let everyone who comes here receive welfare benefits, the whole system would just collapse. Secondly, create a test based on the Constitution so people know their rights. That's super important to having a strong society. And quarterly visits to ICE agents, to ICE agencies in the first 2 years, just to ensure there hasn't been any serious crime committed. And then finally, strict enforcement of laws. A lot of people might think, why do we need this? Well, because if the laws aren't strictly enforced, they'll continue to be abused. And if we have a clear path to citizenship, there is absolutely no reason why people should be here, not have legal status for being here, if we have that clear path to citizenship. I hope that as I begin to conclude this speech, that everyone has seen the immense benefits creating a clear path to citizenship brings. Creating a path to citizenship for all immigrants and non-residents, or excuse me, non-citizen residents of the US can drastically improve the system by eliminating abuses of the system and allowing people who truly deserve citizenship that they can get it. And not just those who can become citizens who are lucky enough to be able to abuse the current system. I hope everyone has seen how impactful and simple creating a clear path to citizenship is and how it can solve many of our issues surrounding immigration. I would love to take any questions anybody has, and thank you so much for your time and consideration. Thank you.